Did you know that a recent study by Rescue Time found that people spend up to 2.5 hours a day on distractions? I know personally for me, this used to be true. Now imagine if you could reclaim that time and do something productive with it instead. Things like achieving your goals, both personally and professionally. Well, stay tuned, because in this video, that's exactly what we're going through. I'm going to share my top tips to master your time and elevate your performance to peak levels. Hi everyone, if you're new here, I'm Brandon from Peak Life, where I share my insights learned through my career in engineering so that we can all journey together to design, build, and live our own peak life. In today's video, I'm going to share my own protocol for a time management plan that will supercharge your productivity and results. We'll explore actionable strategies that are based on science and some outstanding books in the field. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do to manage your time more effectively and achieve your goals. Let's get started. First up, we have the importance of setting clear goals and priorities. As Stephen Covey puts it in the great book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, you need to begin with the end in mind. Having a clear vision of your goals is what's going to help you prioritize your tasks so that they align with your objectives. I do this through a yearly and quarterly planning system and a daily planner so that I can keep my goals visible and see them every day. Doing this helps me ensure that my daily tasks are aligned with my long-term plans. For example, with this YouTube channel, I have a goal of making $1 by the end of the year. This is a SMART goal, which means that it's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's relevant, and it's time-bound. And by having a SMART goal, you can then break it down into smaller subtasks and milestones. An example of this is breaking down this big goal into something that I can execute every week, which ultimately turns into my priorities of content research, script writing, filming the video, editing, creating a thumbnail, and publishing a video once a week. Next, let's talk about time blocking. Author Cal Newport, in his book Deep Work, emphasizes the power of scheduling blocks of time dedicated to your focused work. I personally set aside specific hours in a day, both at work and weekly at home for my personal life. In these time blocks, I eliminate distractions. I turn off my phone notifications. I close my email and my Slack, and I let everyone know that I'm in a jam session working on that one specific thing. For myself, my mornings are the most productive time, before my brain's cluttered with all the fires that came up throughout the day. And in these morning time blocks, usually first thing, I'll prioritize on my most important task. Further to this, I have several meetings throughout the week, so I've tried to consolidate those into my heavy meeting day of Monday and Thursday. This way I have a recurring schedule so that I know I have specific times for those meetings, and then I have deep work times that I don't have to focus on anything else. This method has significantly boosted my productivity and helped keep me more calm throughout the day. By knowing that I have time blocks for meetings, knowing that I have time blocks for checking emails and time blocks for doing my deep work, I'm able to stay concentrated in that zone and do the work without worrying about other interruptions. Moving on to delegating tasks. Delegating tasks is a crucial step in effective time management. As highlighted in the book, The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber, understanding which tasks are important for you to do and which tasks are more effective to be delegated will free up your time for working in what's called your unique ability. The tasks that make it rain for your personal life or your professional life. The ones that are aligned to your highest output and what brings you joy. In my role, I've stepped into doing a lot more strategic planning and business development. And because of this, I've had to learn how to delegate off the more routine tasks or ones that are better aligned to other team members. A great tool that you can use to figure out which tasks you should be doing and which ones you should be either eliminating or delegating is what's called the Eisenhower Matrix. And another fantastic resource that I recommend is the book Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell, where he takes you step by step how to reclaim your time through delegation, systemization, and elimination. Next, we have the power of incorporating short breaks throughout your day. While this may feel counterintuitive, scheduling these quick breaks is essential for your peak productivity by maintaining your focus and keeping your energy levels high. One example of this is the Pomodoro method, where you work straight for 25 minutes without distractions and then take a 5-minute break, repeating this throughout the day. This simple technique has helped many people achieve more in less time by maintaining their energy and their focus by allowing them to have those free breaks. Another method that I like to use is throughout my workday, I'll try to take 2 to 3 short 15-minute walks. This helps reset my energy and allows me to zoom out a bit so that I'm not just stuck in the details of what I have to do. Next, we have avoiding multitasking. And let me tell you, I've learned this the hard way. Avoiding multitasking is absolutely key for maximizing your productivity. Countless research has shown that multitasking can reduce your efficiency and impair your cognitive performance. You end up getting less done, and the stuff that you do get done is often filled with more mistakes. In the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, he explains the principle that at any one moment, there's one thing that's most important, and that is what you should be doing. By focusing on the one most important task, you're able to do less overall but have more impact. I, like many others, used to think that it was a positive trait to juggle a whole bunch of tasks at once. I thought I was more productive, but over time I realized I was just making more mistakes, and the burden of switching between task to task actually put me further behind. Not to mention the stress that it caused by knowing that I had so many things to focus on at once. Now I try my best to focus on the one most important thing. And then once that's done, I move on to the next. This has greatly improved both my quality of work and the speed that every project gets done. And as a leader, I also try to encourage this to my own team and those that I work with. I try not to overwhelm them with inputs and giving them too many things to work on at once. So instead of just bombarding them throughout the day, each morning we do a quick little status update where we decide on what our priorities are, and then we do our best to stick with them throughout the day. Moving on to one of the hardest techniques, and that is saying no to tasks that don't align with your goals. Warren Buffett said famously that the difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. And it's like Steve Jobs told us, he is more proud of all the products that they canceled than the ones that they actually focused on. By learning to say no to our low priority tasks and to other people's monkeys, we're able to protect our time and focus so that we can work on that one thing that's most important. While this is something that I still struggle with and I'm trying to get better every day, I do feel a greater sense of accomplishment and less stress when the vast majority of my time are going to my own priorities. And even more so when those priorities are the big ticket items that are going to move the needle. For example, I've been declining more requests for projects or tasks that don't align with my strategic goals. And even instead of being the hero and just jumping into helping someone else, I've been working at coaching them through to their own answer. This way I'm not taking their monkey, their problem, and just giving them a solution. And yes, this is very hard to do psychologically, especially when people just want an answer. But over time, it'll increase their own capability and capacity to do their job, which frees up more of your time and allows them to feel a better sense of accomplishment. Finally, one of my favorite things, and that is regularly reviewing your progress and adjusting your strategy. Continuous improvement is absolutely essential for living a peak life. You're not going to get it right at first, and over time your priorities will change, and that's all right. But the key thing is either weekly, quarterly, or yearly. I recommend doing all of them. Take a look at your progress and review what went well and what went poorly. It's the concept of plan, execute, review. Plan what you're going to do, execute it, but then make sure you come back to review. And in that next block of time, make the necessary adjustments to help reduce your stress, increase your joy, and improve your output. For example, at the end of last year, I did a review and I looked at where my time was going and how much joy each activity brought me. What I found is I was spending a lot of time just scrolling social media and it wasn't bringing me any joy. If anything, it was just bringing me a greater sense of lack. So what I did is I tried an experiment of deleting social media. I was only going to do this for a month and a half, but I've now been over 7 months without social media on my phone. And let me tell you, I don't miss it at all. You can check out the video up here, which is all about more information on dopamine detox. Well, there you have it. To wrap up, let's summarize these key points. Set clear goals and priorities. Use time blocking. Delegate tasks. Incorporate short breaks throughout your day. Avoid multitasking and say no to misaligned tasks. And finally, do regular reviews and adjust your strategy accordingly. Effective time management is the cornerstone to peak performance. We all have the same amount of time in a day, and the difference between one person and someone else is how they spend that time. By implementing these strategies, you'll be well on your way to living a peak life. So thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please please consider subscribing for more content on how we can improve our life. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one up here.